Welcome back, Crusaders, to the Nerd Crusade reviews and impressions. This week we're going to be talking about Dungeons of Hinterberg. This is a nice, quaint little game about dungeon crawling and relaxing, getting away from the hug, pudge, and grind of the everyday work life. Our game starts off with you playing a character who is basically a lawyer or a lawyer's clerk. We're not quite sure, but basically she works at a law firm, and she's left her job for a short vacation to go to this town of Hinterberg. Hinterberg is this town that magically 3 years ago, portals and dungeons and monsters all started appearing on their countryside, and the town has basically turned it into a theme park resort for folks to come and live out their dungeon crawling and monster hunting adventuring needs. Your character is there to kind of escape the hubbub of work, and then finds herself fighting monsters as she goes and explores the dungeons and making new friends with the different tourists and locals who live in the area. It definitely has a mixture feel of like a Stardew Valley and a dungeon crawler, but more of a hack and slash dungeon crawler. Because you do have a parry, you have a dodge, you get some magic spells, but it's by no means a real like true RPG. There's no real leveling in this game. There are different items and whatnot you find, but like you don't see cosmetic changes when you find new armor, different weapons, or anything like that. And it's very forgiving as far as difficulty goes. There's always things that give you extra life, and there's always different like little side quests as far as collectibles. And meeting and greeting other folks. Now, basically what happens is as soon as you get there, you go and do a beginner dungeon, but then something strange starts happening. An earthquake kind of hits while you're in the dungeon, and then you find yourself kind of stuck, only able to explore certain areas as the city goes and repairs areas damaged by this earthquake that hit. This is a way to try and keep people on doing things that are at a proper level instead of jumping ahead to overly difficult dungeons. But the dungeons are really interesting. They're not just hack and slash combat. There's lots of puzzle solving that you have to do as well. It's nothing super complicated. I would think there's probably more difficult puzzles in like games like Zelda, but this is a game that's designed to be a little more relaxing and kick back, which is kind of a nice change of pace. So you don't ever feel rushed or feel like you need to just plow through things. What I don't know is if there's a time limit to the vacation you have, because doing certain activities does definitely move time forward. When you go through a dungeon that takes up your day, and then in the evening you have the option to train with other characters, hang out with characters that you meet along the way. Some of these characters will be in dungeons, some of these characters will be in the town, but you'll hang out with them, and the more you grow your relationships with those folks, the more features you unlock. One in particular is you meet a guy who's a journalist. When you first hang out with him, he'll unlock photo mode for you. But as you go, you'll get other benefits from hanging out with these folks and getting to know them even more. Now, what's also interesting is the creature design is kind of based off of maybe Norwegian or Scandinavian folklore. You have a lot of gnomes, Krampus, those types of monsters are what you're fighting. There's no explanation for where they are, where they come from, or why they're there. They're just kind of there to fight, because the game is, again, a little bit more relaxing, because, even in the sense that once you open up the world to go explore, there are areas that you can go to that are literally just, hey, sit here for the day instead of dungeon crawling, relax, and this will boost these attributes that you have that might make you might unlock your ability to talk to other people, hang out with certain characters that will only hang out with you if you have a high reputation or a high a certain attribute that's at a certain level before they will interact with you. So it does definitely make the game a lot of fun, and definitely gives you the idea that this is kind of a relaxed game. Kind of the vein that people have always been trying to find, what I would call like their Minecraft. There's people who really like Minecraft that find it really relaxing, and then there's people who find like No Man's Sky as like their relaxing game. A game that has no high stakes, no pressure to force you to play through it. Has a little bit of a difficulty curve if you want it, but you don't actually have to go through it. you could probably spend this character's entire vacation just relaxing and enjoying the scenery of the area versus always dungeon crawling. But they do make the dungeon crawling very approachable. It's not difficult. It's not a Souls-like. It's something anybody can really just jump into. But it's also not super dumbed down or easy to where there's no challenge at all. There are definitely some different creatures and monsters you fight that have different attack patterns that you're going to have to learn. But nothing about it is super difficult. And even with the strange things going on with the earthquakes that they're trying to plant with the story, nobody in the game is too concerned about horrible things happening. There's basically, I think, 20 something dungeons to go through, and then there's open world monsters to fight as well. But you can also, like I said, spend your time in town buying souvenirs, upgrading your potions. There is a magic system in the game. It works kind of uniquely to where in different areas that you go to, there will be a challenge or a portal somewhere where you're supposed to get magic abilities. Those magic abilities are strictly basically for puzzle solving and fighting the monsters in that area, because the magic will only work in that one area. You don't get to keep all your magic abilities. They will change as you go from area to area, which will kind of mixes it up, and also definitely implies that they are strictly mainly there for the puzzle solving that needs to be done in that area. Some of the first two magic spells you get is a ball and chain that you can throw, which you can pull things towards you, which is used a lot in puzzle solving, and also a giant ball that you can summon that basically explodes, help you clear open paths as well as fight enemies. Overall, it's a very relaxing, endearing game. It's on Game Pass, so I definitely would recommend checking it out. It's pretty fun. Like I said, it's nothing too crazy or high stakes. It's more on the side of here's a relaxing game with some dungeon crawling aspects to it. So if you like things like Minecraft, if you like things like Stardew Valley, but you don't want to have to do a lot of crafting or the building mechanics, you just kind of want to enjoy a mountainly town and explore dungeons from time to time, this would probably be the perfect game for you. There is a kind of a deeper meta story there, but it's on you if that's something you really care about, or if you just want to crawl through dungeons, kill monsters, get loot, and then explore town or enjoy the scenery. Again, came out on Game Pass a couple weeks ago. Definitely a fun game. Check it out and let us know what you think. That's it for now, and we'll see you next time.